Chapter 83. People's minds are at peace. Silver Moon City. City Lord's Mansion. Hiss, I see. What a sinister Guhai. Sima Changkong's pupils abruptly shrank. On the side sat the Divine Martial King. His eyes narrowed slightly as his fingers gently tapped on the desk. Yes, what a simple arrangement. What a deep mind trick, the Divine Martial King said in a deep voice. The duo twisted their heads to look at a subordinate in front of them. It's been 10 days. What is the reaction of the entire city now? The Divine Martial King, at the subordinate in front of him. King Lu Yong has completely cleared his name. Not just Silver Moon City, our nearby cities are all the same. The city lords have gone all out to clear King Lu Yong of the false accusations. The people all believe that King Lu Yong won't rebel, and that the rumors of the Divine Foothills Imperial Dynasty are just a joke. No one believes it, and no one supports it. That subordinate said in a deep voice. Ha, ha ha ha. This is forcing King Lu Yong. Now, King Lu Yong is going to be in a hurry. Guhai's conspiracy. No, it should be a Yong conspiracy. A Yong conspiracy that King Lu Yong can't refuse, forcing King Lu Yong into a trap. A conspiracy, yet it is made to be as secretive as a conspiracy. I have really rarely encountered it, Sima Changkong said in a deep voice. It won't work if King Lu Yong doesn't fall into the trap. The crisis of the Divine Foothills Imperial Dynasty will soon be lifted. And likewise, we will soon be in trouble. The Divine Martial King frowned. Yes, although the setup is not much, but it has pulled us in as well. Not only is King Lu Yong in the trap, we also have to follow. We have to. Sima Changkong sighed slightly. I think, at this moment, King Lu Yang's residence should also see the light. I wonder what kind of chaos his royal residence is in now. The Divine Martial King laughed. Muo Lu City, King Lu Yang's mansion. With Mo Yaika's request for an audience, overnight King Lu Yang summoned all the strategists and important generals and close associates. Your Highness, my subordinate was incompetent and failed to penetrate early. Once Guhai came out with such a poisonous plan, causing Your Highness to be so passive, Mo Yaika said bitterly. Mr. Mo need not blame himself, even if he penetrated it early. It's useless. Guhai's arrangement this time. He can't catch the handle at all. King Lu Yong said in a deep voice. Hey, what's wrong, Grandpa? What's wrong? Isn't it quite good now? You've been cleared. The people are laughing at the Divine Foothills Dynasty. Everything is in our favor or... Those rumors, they're just a joke, young Masterin said in disbelief. The group of strategists were also frowning and deep in thought. Some of the strategists' faces changed drastically, while others still couldn't figure out what was wrong. Mo Yaika sighed slightly and said, Bad. Bad in the sense that the king is completely innocent. The rumors are just a joke. And also, all the people are laughing at the Divine Foothills Imperial Dynasty, is all. What's wrong? Young Masterin didn't understand. If His Highness doesn't have the heart to fight for supremacy, then it is indeed a joke. His Highness' position, unshakable. The hearts of the people are towards His Majesty. The Divine Foothills Imperial Dynasty is just a clown, the laughing stock of the world. However, what if His Highness has the heart of hegemony? Mo Yaika's face couldn't be. Guhai used the steps. The first step planted evidence to frame His Majesty, causing some of the people to question. The second step, take the initiative to expose the Footstone people. So, for the king whitewash the false accusations, at the same time more mobilization of the four sides of the city masters. For the use of the ancient sea, take the initiative to propaganda everything is false. The king cannot have the heart of the hegemony. Are all the enemy country rumors, so that all the people are concerned about this matter. Public opinion was used by Guhai, but it became his mouthpiece. 100 city lords also became Guhai accomplices, mobilizing the enemy army for his own use. This Guhai, so terrifying, Mo Yaika said in a deep voice. But there's nothing wrong with it. Young Master An was still puzzled. Mo Yike looked at him and didn't bother to continue explaining. A schemer at the side looked horrified and said, "No, young Master An, you're wrong. Although everything appears to be in the king's favor on the surface, it's a hidden murder. Do you know the consequences?" Consequences. For one, King Liu Yang is innocent and will never be able to rebel. A stereotype is formed in the minds of the people. If you rose up earlier, it was to take back what belonged to you. The great Ying dynasty, Yingju, was originally the king's. To take back what belonged to you. No one could say anything. However, now if the prince rises up, it is a rebellion. One is in name only, the other is treason. Rising an army also needs Tao, standing at the highest point of morality. Even if there is war, it is still the people's will. But rising an army without Tao, that is the people's will to rebel. Do you think it's still the same? Secondly, for the past half a month, the people have been constantly mocking the Divine Foothills Imperial Dynasty, shaming the Divine Foothills Imperial Dynasty, placing the rumor-mongers against themselves before mocking and shaming them. Similarly, the words of the rumor-mongers place them in opposition in their hearts. The king's rising against the army. This is a joke. This is what should be laughed at, what should be mocked. They were the subjects of the great Jin dynasty, and to rebel was something that was their own antithesis. People's hearts have already put rebellion on the opposite side. Do you see? In the past, although the human heart did not wish for a rebellion, but it did not completely deviate from rebellion. If the king rebelled, so be it. Though we were unwilling in our hearts, yet, never mind, it was not a matter of concern to us, and we were not able to stop it ourselves. But now it is different. Now the hearts of the people are, whoever rebels, is the one who should be mocked and laughed at. People's hearts are at peace. Originally, to the king and to the great Jin dynasty, the people have a balance in their hearts, the hearts of the people in the center of the balance. Now the hearts of the people are slowly biased towards the great Jin dynasty. Not a small handful of people, in the propaganda of the city masters. All the people's hearts want peace. At the same time, the hearts are towards the great Jin dynasty. The hearts of the people. Young Master An opened his mouth in shock. Mermo's face was gloomy as he said, manipulating the hearts of a state without spending a single soldier. This Gu Hai is still too dangerous. A bunch of city lords and generals in Yingju are actually manipulated by him, helping him with his propaganda, trapping the king in an embarrassing situation. But what's the use of that? What can the people decide? Young Master An did not understand. Mermo looked at young Master An and was speechless for a while. A strategist beside him laughed bitterly. Young Master An, the people's heart is the heart of heaven. Think about it. How does a dynasty's chi come about? It is the convergence of chi. What is chi? A yuan of chi is 129,600 merits. Each merit is a people's sentiment. If grandfather founded the country, and the people don't even feel the emperor's favor, there will be no merit and virtue to converge from. And there will be no chi. There would be no chi. Young Master An's face changed wildly. Yes. What kind of country is a country without chi? Divine Foothills Dynasty. A small dynasty. Why is it so difficult to attack it? Because the dynasty's chi, the chi count is huge. If the chi is not exhausted, the dynasty will not be destroyed. It has a constant flow of luck. The people's hearts are towards Shenlu. Shenlu dynasty has a meaning to exist. Now, if your highness were to rise up and rebel, if you were to re-establish the great Ying imperial dynasty, the people would not buy it. And without the chi, then how can we talk about an imperial dynasty? A strategist said in a deep voice. What a ruthless Gu Hai. Is he breaking the king's chi? Another schemer said with an ugly face. Mo Yoka once again bitterly bowed to King Liu Yang and said, Your Majesty, we are incompetent. Your Majesty, forgive me, The crowd of strategists also bowed down. King Liu Yong took a deep breath and looked to the south. Is it the ancient sea? A cold aura flashed through King Liu Yang's eyes. It should be. Now that the people are thinking of peace, of course, it can't be said that all the people are thinking of peace. But after this battle, the effect of the king's founding of the country is greatly reduced. Originally, if the king had founded the country, he might be able to have the chi of opening up an imperial dynasty. But now perhaps it can only be the chi of an imperial dynasty. Mo Yika laughed bitterly. Gu Hai just created a rumor like this, and the Great Ying Imperial Dynasty is going to be downgraded to the Great Ying Imperial Dynasty. Young Master An's face changed. Yes, and Your Highness must put up a big banner right away, otherwise, if it drags on, Gu Hai will have another conspiracy propaganda. The hearts of the people will be more and more deviated from Your Highness, and this point of the Great Ying Imperial Dynasty's fortune will be slim. Mo Yika laughed bitterly. Yes, Your Highness, nowadays, the only way to establish the country as soon as possible is to first hold on to the existing chi, luck, and later slowly revert the people's thoughts, another strategist said. King Liu Yang took a deep breath and fell slightly silent. Your Highness, this time, under Gu Hai's Yong conspiracy, not only did it eliminate a large portion of our chi, more importantly, once the king establishes a state all over the cities, there will be a commotion. The king has subdued most of the city lords, but there are a small number of them that have not been fully subdued. Once the state is established, they will definitely wreak havoc. The king will need to suppress them as soon as possible. Yingju is about to be in chaos. Yes, there is also the Great Jin Dynasty. Once the king establishes a state, the Great Jin Dynasty will immediately step in. The Great Jin Sage can condone everything for the king, but he absolutely cannot condone the king's rebellion. Rebellion is not to be condoned. Soon there will be an army from the Great Jin Heavenly Dynasty coming. The group of schemers saw the Gu Hai conspiracy clearly, and they immediately cited one to find out everything that went wrong. Ao Shun on the side took a deep breath and said in a deep voice, back then, long shall you guessed that Your Highness had the will to establish a nation, and there was no evidence, so there was nothing that could be done to Your Highness. Wang Fu Chao guessed that the king had the ambition to establish a state, had no evidence, and could do nothing about the king. This time, Gu Hai, he actually does not need evidence, forcing the prince to admit himself. The people are the foundation of the country. The king wants to establish the country. If the people do not support, then the effect of establishing the country will be greatly reduced. This Gu Hai's tactics, straight to the point are. Then what should we do now? Is the Divine Foothills Dynasty still going to continue to attack? Young Master An said blankly. Inform the front line that all legions are withdrawing. Return to guard the cities of Yingju in case of riots. King Liu Yong said with a wave of unwillingness. Yes, the crowd of generals answered. All of you follow me back to Ying City. Set the capital of Ying City as Ying capital, and restore my Great Ying Imperial Dynasty on a certain date. King Liu Yong said in a deep voice. Yes, long live my emperor, long live my emperor. The crowd of courtiers, at once, respectfully bowed down. If the country had been established before, it would have been an extremely wonderful feeling for the group of ministers to address themselves as long live. But now, King Liu Yong was not happy at all, because this emperor's position was forced on him, forced by an enemy. To be forced to sit as an emperor, it was unpleasant to think about. Gu Hai, do you think this will let you guys off? HMPH. This king has accumulated so many years. Is it not something that you and Huang Fu's little child can see clearly? HMPH. King Liu Yang's eyes glowed with a murderous intent. Divine Foothills Imperial Dynasty. The valley outside Foothills Divine City. Withdrawal of troops. Your Majesty, Mergu. King Liu Yang's army has withdrawn. Full withdrawal. Full withdrawal. Ha ha ha. The crisis of my divine foothill dynasty is eliminated. The faux stone god excitedly ran in and said. Gu Hai was sitting in front of a chessboard, playing chess alone. When he heard the shouts of the faux she got, he turned his head to the north, revealing a cold smile and said, yes, the crisis of the divine foothills, imperial dynasty, was eliminated for a short period of time. But the crisis of the Liu Yong king has only just begun. Revolt, ho ho. The great Jin dynasty will not condone it this time. Let him also taste the taste of being surrounded by enemies. Humph.